Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here at Midtown Manhattan in the Nomad District. I'm here at the newest hotel in this area at the Ritz-Carlton NOMAD with Bastian Germer, who's the general manager here. And I got to tell you, this hotel is amazing. It has amazing views, and I'm so glad we got a chance to come down here. It was just opened literally a few months ago, and part of it, they're still opening parts of it, but it's almost all ready to go. And we're going to talk to Bastian about this wonderful hotel and a whole lot more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Bastian, first of all, you just gave us a great tour of this property, and I got it everywhere we looked, there were incredible views of Manhattan, right?
Yeah, absolutely, James. I think we are fortunate to be one of the few new build hotels in New York City in a neighborhood that is historical, but certainly not overbuilt. And you're absolutely right. We have unobstructed views everywhere in this hotel. There's not a single bad view from any of the rooms.
Well, tell us a little bit about how this project came to be, because it is in this sort of unique district, Nomad, and it is sort of a higher rise building, which means we do have the great views. But what's the history of this project?
The history is very much that our owners and developers who are from New York had a strong belief that this area is going to be of significance in terms of its location, since we've been seeing the center of the city shifting further south from what maybe is an area that is historically not known for luxury hotels. Luxury hotels have been reserved for Central Park South and the Upper East Side, but the owners had this vision that the younger affluent generations are going to want to be in this neighborhood, walking distance to Gramercy Park, walking distance to Soho, Chelsea, West Village, etc. And they decided that a luxury hotel must be built in this area.
And indeed, this is kind of a newer feel Ritz to me. In fact, you said this is kind of the new wave Ritz, right?
It very much is, yeah. We often refer to it as the Ritz-Carlton 2.0. This is truly a milestone for our brand. I think we have opened beautiful modern luxury hotels for the past few years, but often in secondary cities around the world. And when you open a flagship such as our hotel, the Ritz-Carlton New York Nomad in New York, that really sends a strong message and makes a statement.
Now let's talk about the accommodations. We just took a lot of the rooms and suites. We took a look at some of your club level. You still got the Ritz-Carlton suite to come because it's almost done, but talk a little bit about the accommodations, the different options that guests would have here.
Yeah, absolutely. We have 250 rooms here at the hotel, including 31 suites, and that of course includes the Ritz-Carlton suite that you mentioned as well. And rooms start from 420 square feet in size, which is a really good size hotel room in Manhattan, and then suites start from 800 square feet. Once again, all rooms have views, and how is that facilitated? It's a single stacked hotel, which is sort of an architectural approach that you more often find with resorts, where everyone wants to have an ocean view. Here, all the views are facing south towards downtown, Statue of Liberty and so forth, and all the services and elevators and emergency staircases, etc., run at the back of the hotel. So really, the entire front of the hotel is basically one big glass plate, you could say.
Although I got to tell you, the back of the hotel you're talking about, even at the elevator shafts, there are little windows that you can see out there. So it's kind of interesting. So this is a hotel. You look everywhere you look, you're going to see views out of your suites. You open up the door, you can see down south towards down really beautiful parts of Manhattan. Now and you also have you have residences here too, and those are also sometimes available to be booked as well, right?
That's right. We have 16 residences at the top of the building, 4 residences on each floor, so they are spread over 4 floors. 1 and 2 bedroom residences starting from 1,000 square feet to 1,800 square feet. And the residence owners can opt into our rental program. So when they are not staying, they essentially hand over their residence to the hotel. Those residences are in keeping with the Ritz-Carlton design that we have throughout the building. And we sell them on the owner's behalf, and we share our revenues with them.
But interesting, because this, as you mentioned to me earlier, that this hotel is actually zoned for to be a hotel, not an apartment building. So residences can only be here for a certain amount of time, so they have to get rid of them sometimes, and why not, rent them out?
That's right. Think of it as your very high-end Airbnb managed by the Ritz-Carlton.
I didn't realize you were a purveyor of Airbnb. I didn't think you went into the business for that. But
you know what? I think we went into this business probably much earlier than most people knew. It's certainly my first experience as well with the residences program such as this. We have some experience with this in other typically more resort locations, but we believe it's going to be a huge success here in New York.
Absolutely. Now let's get to the heart of the matter, the F&B. Had a wonderful lunch down on your ground floor restaurant, which is sort of a Mediterranean. And remind me of the name.
Zaitinia, our Mediterranean restaurant, absolutely. We have a phenomenal food and beverage partner, Jose Andres. It's actually called Jose Andres Group. These days, of course, Jose Andres is more known as a humanitarian rather than a celebrity chef, but really he is a wonderful person and has a very successful restaurant business around the world. We managed with him 2 restaurants here in the building, Zaitinia, and later this year we're going to open Bazaar on our 2nd floor.
Yeah, you told me about that already. I'm sold. It's like a fusion of Japanese and Spanish and Japanese, which is interesting.
Yes. We try to avoid the word fusion because we really will have a menu that features both Japanese and Spanish tapas. But it's going to be, compared to Zaitinia, it's going to be very, very high end. Zaitinia is more sort of your very friendly, very approachable Mediterranean menu, serving Turkish, Greek, and Lebanese cuisine. But Bazaar will be a very high-end experience, only open for dinner, and we're thinking that it's going to be sort of in the Michelin star realm of experience.
I absolutely, we'll come down and try that out, but the restaurant today was absolutely superb and really perfect for lunch for this one. Now, the other thing is the bars, your F&B and the bars. You have a brilliant bar actually at lobby level, and that whole area of the lobby was really astounding. A lot of different decor, a lot of different things, and very comfortable.
Yeah, thank you. I have to say that thanks to the local community and, of course, the phenomenal concepts that were put in place, our food and beverage outlets really kickstarted the hotel right after we opened 2 months ago. The bar downstairs, the lobby bar, gets very busy from 4 o'clock onwards, and the lounge as well. And then, of course, we have our rooftop bar, Nubeluz.
Well, let's talk about that one because it really is an amazing. You talk about views, incredible views. There is indoor part of the bar and 2 wings with the outdoor part, and it is spectacular. And I heard here it's a great success. It's hard to get in, but hopefully one of these days I'll get up there and see.
I'm sure we'll get you in somehow, James. Yes, we do reserve a number of tables for our in-house guests who may have forgotten perhaps to make a reservation in advance, but at the moment it is reservations only, and we are fully committed for several weeks out. Not necessarily unheard of in New York City when you have a new concept, but we think this is going to be quite sustainable because of the spectacular views.
It is one of the most spectacular views in Manhattan. And I've been in a lot of rooftop bars because obviously there was a point where you couldn't open a hotel in New York without having a rooftop bar, and you have one of the best right now, I think, and people will really get hopefully coming in and seeing it. Now, the other thing you have is there is another hotel that opened around 1 year that claims it has a spa, but you got a spa too, right?
We absolutely do have a spa, yes. We have a 7,000 square foot spa. It's in our sub-level, so it's in the basement of the hotel, but it really looks and feels like a calm oasis in the middle of the city. 7 single treatment rooms and a couples treatment room. And we feature products by Agostino Spader, Dr. Dennis Gross, and also Spa for specifically facials. And we've already seen a great uptick on local business, which is wonderful to see that the local community is embracing our spa.
Yeah, so they can come in and have a spa treatment here. It just doesn't have to be a guest totally, but it is an amazing spa. It's the whole package is really, I think, is wonderful. Now, how would you tell travel advisors out there, and how should they be selling this property? Obviously, location is amazing. The new neighborhood, it's not that new, but it's trendy, it's hip, and now you have a Ritz-Carlton here that is trendy and hip. So how would you tell them to sell this property?
Yeah, it's a great question, James. So, once again, we really consider ourselves the new generation Ritz-Carlton hotel, and I think it starts with the location for us here. It really speaks to the younger, affluent traveler. And not to say that we haven't had already in the past 2 months that we've been open some very loyal Ritz-Carlton guests that would typically stay at Central Park. But this is not I think it must be mentioned that this is not a Upper East Side location. This is not a Central Park location. This is in Nomad, and everything's walking distance if you want to be within shouting distance of the best bars, restaurants, the High Line, West Village, really boutique shopping as well. That is what this neighborhood is all about, versus maybe the glitz and glamour of Fifth Avenue, which can be at times a bit more touristy.
No, absolutely. And, if you've been a Ritz-Carlton fan for years and you know what's been here in New York, there are many different Ritz-Carltons that have come and gone here. Now you have two in New York. One, as you mentioned, at Central Park, and this one, which is really a different breed. It's a different atmosphere, a whole different thing. You may have clients for each one. So this one is really as trendy and hip and really in a great neighborhood. And if you want views, this is the place to go. Where can, anything else you'd like to tell travel agents about this property?
Well, I'd like to tell travel agents that it's unique, I think, nowadays in New York City to have a 5-star hotel, to have a luxury hotel that has all the offerings, specifically on a food and beverage, from a food and beverage perspective, and spa that we have here. I think for unfortunate reasons, many luxury hotels in recent years had to close down their food and beverage operation, and to see an F&B offering at the scale that we have here is truly unique. So I think if that is relevant for travelers, I would like our partners to know that.
Absolutely. So you get wonderful lunches here with the ground floor, and then you go up the second floor and get this brand new concept very soon. And then you got to go up to the rooftop and see the views, because at night, as you mentioned, it comes alive. It's a very different type of place. Now, you have a lot of experience in luxury hotels. What's your background before?
Well, I'm from Germany originally. I've been in the industry for 28 years and have really never worked in any other industry than hospitality. Moved around the world, spent almost half my career in Asia, between the Maldives, Singapore, Japan, but now I've been working in North America for the past 8 years, and have been with the Ritz-Carlton for 13 years. I did a stint at one of our sister brands, The Edition, actually at the New York Edition right here around the corner.
You're very familiar with this town, right?
I'm very much familiar with this neighborhood. Specifically, I also live in the neighborhood in Chelsea, 15 minutes walking distance from here, so maybe I'm a little bit biased towards the area, but no, this is the place to be. This is New York for New Yorkers. This is where truly everything is happening and people want to be.
Now, where can travel advisors go and get more information on the hotel? I guess the URL, things like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first site to visit would be Ritz-Carlton.com, and of course we have a dedicated site there. There's a lot of information on our food and beverage offerings as well, and on the spa. Guests can book online as well if they wanted to reserve a table, or
which is recommended, right?
Which is highly recommended, and we do tell our guests our in-house guests as well to book in advance. And our spa has a link there as well where guests can reserve. And that would be the first page to go to. We work very closely with our Stars agents, which is a married program, and we anticipate to join other programs, other well-known programs next year. We did open the hotel a little bit too late in the year to be part of the programs in 2022, but we do anticipate to be in those luxury travel programs in 2023.
Well, Bastian, congratulations. I finally got down here to see your property. It was open a few months ago. I wanted to come down here. It was one of the great hotel openings in New York. We've, lucky enough, post-COVID, we're starting to see more hotels opening up, and yours is really, amazing to see this come right here in this neighborhood. And it's with the views you've got, you're going to have great success, I think.
Thank you, James. You're very kind. It's been a pleasure taking you around.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.